minute now, like you are seeing on our screens there, the plane did already land. That means any minute now they'll be walking through these doors, and on the other side of your screen you're seeing the people that I'm also seeing here on the ground. They're carrying Turkish flags, carrying Palestinian flags in solidarity with the people in Palestine, like Turkey has been ever since the beginning of this war on Gaza, ever since the beginning of the annihilation on Gaza. Turkey has been standing with the people in Palestine and just doing everything possible to, of course, bring an end to this war. We have seen developments in the past few days, ever since the peace plan that came up, the U.S. President Donald Trump came up with. We've seen reactions even today from Hamas agreeing in part with the peace proposal, and of course we are seeing positivity from the ground, and by the ground I mean the people in Gaza reacting positively to the news, hoping that this will bring an end to the war. And of course we will wait and see if these activists will also have anything to say about that, because, well, as they were on their way to deliver humanitarian aid, if the war wasn't going on, they wouldn't be doing that, Jafar. So definitely we shall be waiting to see all these reactions from the people coming in. But right now, Jafar, all we can do is wait and just wait and see when. I'm actually still looking on this other
end. So, Grace, we can see the live pictures of that plane on our screens right now. In fact, to the left-hand side of the screen, we see the pictures of that plane. And to the right-hand side, we see people who have gathered to greet these activists. Of course, as you pointed out, that they're all holding Turkish and Palestinian flags in their hands. So in a few moments from now, we will be seeing live pictures on our screens. The activists are going to be stepping off that Turkish Airlines flight that we see on our screens right now, after being detained by Israel for taking part in the humanitarian flotilla to Gaza. So certainly this is a very important moment, an emotional moment rather, for the families of the people who were detained by Israel. And I think it's important to remind our audience that what we are witnessing right now here in Istanbul comes after a dramatic series of events over the past few days at sea. The global Sumud flotilla, which was made up of more than 40 vessels carrying around 500 activists from over 40 countries, set sail in late August. And the flotilla was basically aiming to break Israel's naval blockade on Gaza and deliver urgently needed humanitarian aid to the enclave. But since Wednesday, the Israeli Navy, the Israeli forces have systematically intercepted almost every vessel belonging to the global Sumud flotilla, dismantling what was the largest flotilla attempt in years to reach Gaza's shores. And we all have seen those footages, those images. Live stream video showed Israeli forces storming boats one after another, and the final one, a Polish-flagged ship, was also seized early on Friday morning. We understand that some of the activists have been released by Israel, but there are still many who remain under Israeli detention at a notorious prison located in the Negev area of Israel. So certainly this is a crucial moment right now, and as our correspondent Grace Kuria-Kanja has been reporting from the Istanbul airport, that any moment now we'll be seeing those activists come out of that plane. We also see a bus parked right outside that plane. So I understand that after these activists come out of that plane, they'll be transferred to that bus and later brought to the VIP terminal. That's where they will be greeted by their families and supporters. Of course, to the right-hand side of your screens right now, you can see those Turkish supporters who are there to greet these activists. They're all holding Turkish and Palestinian flags in their hands. A reminder to our audience right now that these activists who are on this Turkish Airlines flight that has just touched down here at Istanbul airport, they were among the 137, and they're among the 137 individuals that have been released. Now, this plane departed from Israel and has now reached Istanbul. So certainly they're part of a larger group, a group of more than 450 activists who were detained by Israel. Important to remind our audience that they were illegally detained by Israel when Israeli forces intercepted nearly 40 vessels carrying humanitarian aid to Gaza. So certainly an important moment here that we are seeing on our screens right now. Over the past few days, we have seen international condemnation against Israeli actions against this global Samud flotilla. Major countries around the world have condemned Israel for stopping this humanitarian mission to reach the shores of Gaza. Remember, Gaza is facing a worsening humanitarian crisis right now. According to the United Nations, in major parts of Gaza City, many people are starving. In fact, according to the United Nations, a famine is happening in Gaza City right now. So this humanitarian aid needs to get there on an urgent basis. That is the call of the international community. That is the call of the United Nations and major world leaders. Grace Kuriakanja is still with us. She joins us live from Istanbul airport. So Grace, I still have not seen any activists come out of the plane, but I believe any moment now we will be seeing those pictures.
Jaffa, we continue to wait, like you said, any who are aboard the global Samud flotilla, 36 being Turkish nationals, and of course that would mean the remaining 101 sum up the foreign nationals that I just mentioned. Now it's important to note that Turkey has been at the forefront of bringing or calling for the return of these activists who were aboard the flotilla when it was intercepted by the Israeli forces. We have over and over seen the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan condemning the atrocities that we are seeing unfold in Gaza. Just recently at an event in the capital Ankara, we did see him say that the world has seen the barbarism that has been witnessed in Gaza, with children dying of hunger, and the failure of the humanitarian aid the failure of the delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza. We have seen him push for an end to this war on Gaza, and we have seen the entire Turkey government stand with the people in Gaza. The president did say that Turkey actually stands with all the hopeful passengers aboard the flotilla who speak for humanity's common conscience, saying that the relevant units are monitoring development that's on the ground that was in Israel. And this is important, Jaffa, because remember, there are people who are still held in Israel, and those people also include Turkish nationals, because remember, we had nearly 50 of them on board the flotilla. The ones who've come are 36. That means about 14 are left. And so Turkey, through President Tayyip Erdogan, and of course also we did see a similar statement from the Turkish Foreign Ministry saying that they're closely monitoring